Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Dripping Springs Tiger Gymnasium for tonight's District 26 6A game between the visiting Anderson Trojans and your Dripping Springs Tigers. Before we announce the starting lineups, we would like to remind you that this evening's contest will be conducted according to rules established by UI. The officials for tonight's game have been selected with the consent of both participating schools, and their rulings should be respected by all. We hope you enjoy the game. The officials for tonight's game are Original Bell, Steve Wong, and R.J. Hoffman.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are live here west of Austin in Dripping Springs, Texas at Dripping Springs High School, the home of the Tigers, where your Anderson Trojans will be taking on said Dripping Springs Tigers. The Trojans enter at 7-5, 3-10 in district play. Dripping Springs at 16-15, a game above 500, 6-8 in district play. And ladies and gentlemen, they are on the ropes. Looking down at the district standings, Bowie sits ahead of them in fourth place at 8-5. Dripping Springs at 6-8. Dripping Springs actually only has 2 more games left tonight and 1 more on the 13th at home against Austin High. So this isn't quite senior night either. But with Dripping Springs, if you look at those records, 6-8, the best that they will be able to do on the season is 8-8. And right now, the worst Bowie could do is 8-8. They both split. They have both won a game so far against each other this year, so assuming things go similarly as they did last year, the best Dripping Springs can hope for would be that final play-in game that, if you recall, Anderson played them at the end of the season last year for that 4th and final playoff spot at Westlake High School. Anderson getting the win there, so in theory, Anderson could put a kibosh on the season for Dripping Springs here tonight. We're just a few minutes from getting started here. My name is Jack Farrell, joining you as always on these Anderson Trojan broadcasts here on Vype Live, sponsored by the trial attorneys at Howie, Breen, and Herman. As always, just a couple more games here towards the end of the season. The Trojans coming off a win against Del Valle. That was a week ago. It's been a week since we've had a game. The first Friday off in a while for me and all these guys. But tonight in the District 26 6A schedule, it's Westlake at Johnson, Anderson at Dripping Springs, Del Valle at Austin, and Lake Travis at Bowie. Looking ahead for Bowie, they have Lake Travis tonight. Then they, I believe, host Del Valle and go on the road against Anderson. So an 8-8 finish wouldn't be particularly shocking. Del Valle has trailed off a little bit. They sit at 3-10 now as well. But tonight, Anderson has a chance to really spoil things for Dripping Springs, whose playoff hopes are already hanging by a thread. The next game for the Anderson Trojans will be this Friday, I should say, this coming Friday, on the road, their final road game of the season at Austin High before they finish the season off at home against the Bowie Bulldogs. But for now, just 2 minutes to go before we get started. Lake Travis sits atop the district schedule the district standings at 2-1. 12-2 are the Chaparrals of Westlake. 10-2 are the Johnson Jaguars. Bowie at 8-5. Drip at 6-8. Aikens at 4-9. The Trojans and Del Valle at 3-10. I'm not sure exactly how it works. Anderson may be atop Del Valle based on alphabet alone, but they do sit atop them in the standings at the moment in 7th, and Austin bringing up the rear at 1-12. Trojans with a good opportunity here against this Dripping Springs team that has struggled a bit as of late. They will also go to the basement-dwelling Maroons this week. Some good opportunities to pick up a few more wins here on the season. Try and move up those ranks a little bit with the playoffs not in the cards this year for the Trojans, but now both teams heading towards the bench. Dripping Springs, I keep wanting to say Del Valle, wearing their home whites, maroon, and goldenrod or something, if we want to call it that. Accents those yellow numbers in the maroon across the chest for Dripping Springs says Tigers Anderson, of course, wearing their away blues. And in just a moment here, now we're going to send it down to the PA, and we will have our national anthem. And when we come back, we will have your opening tip. It's the Anderson Trojans and the Dripping Springs Tigers.
Region 18 quarterfinals. First, we have junior Ian Kirkser and senior Mariana Helokas. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Ian Kirkser and Mariana Helokas. All right, so let's meet the teams for tonight. First, we have the Trojans. The Trojans are coached by Eric Swanson and assisted by Michael String, Jose Chavez, Brendan Hartwell, and Bo Williams. Starting with the Trojans tonight, we have 6 foot sophomore guard number 5, Noah Perkins. 6 foot senior guard number 24, Owen Schaefer. 6'2", senior forward number 10, Caden Williford. 6'2", senior guard number 4, Jackson Gill. And 6'5", senior forward number 21, Campbell Duncan. And now here at Dripping Springs Tigers. The Tigers are coached by Thomas Acker and assisted by Jeremy Collins, Aaron Stein, and Tim Clary. Starting for the Tigers tonight, you have 6 foot junior guard, number 1, Zach Fleming! 6'2", junior guard, number 2, Judson Lowe. 6'2", sophomore guard, number 13, Rustin Budge. And starting tonight, 6'5", sophomore power forward, number 14, Cooper Reed. And finally, starting with the Tigers tonight, 6'6", senior forward, number 12, Jackson Reagan.
All right, back in, getting the camera situated. Both teams taken to center court. It's a very young lineup here. Only one senior in the starting lineup for Dripping Springs. Cooper Reed, a sophomore, two sophomores. There's Rushton Budge in there as well. Two juniors, Zach Fleming and Judson Lowe, and the one senior, Jackson Reagan. And the opening tip won by the Anderson Trojans, who are down one starter tonight. No Luke McReynolds, Owen Schaefer into the lineup instead. But the usual five out there. Jackson Gill as he passes off to Owen Schaefer. Campbell Duncan in there, up at the top of the key with the ball now. Caden Williford and Noah Perkins, the starting five for the Trojans. Gill goes baseline, kicks it back out. Shooter open. Shooter can't connect. That's Noah Perkins. And the rebound goes to Judson Lowe in Dripping Springs. Driving baseline, now trying to go cross court to save the ball was Zach Fleming. Big game for Fleming last time out. He had 15. Lowe had the game high 17. Campbell Duncan had the team high for the Trojans at 11. He's coming off a nice game against Del Valley, 19 points. Caden Williford and Jackson Gill also in double figures with 10 and 11 respectively. And it's deathly quiet in the gym here early as Owen Schaefer has the rock on the outside. 50 seconds gone in the ball game. Duncan off to Schaefer. Screen comes from Williford. Owen all the way to the basket. Good defense inside there from Rushton Budge. Can't get the shot to go, and now far away from the basket. Caden Williford picking up the foul.
Foul's number 10. Caden Williford, his first, team first.
Lowe gets it to Cooper Reed. Didn't see much of him the first time these two teams played, but all the way to the basket is Jackson Reagan. He can't finish it inside. Still nothing. Minute 15 seconds gone. Lob inside to Williford. Now dish off. Campbell Duncan left alone at the basket for two, and Anderson strikes first again. Now pushing ahead are the Tigers. Fleming drives baseline. Good job by Williford cutting him off. Now out to Lowe. Kick to the corner. Now Fleming. Back out for Reed. Left side. Reagan going to drive in on Schaefer. They both go crashing to the floor. No call, and it will stay here. But Anderson can't believe that they didn't get the ball there. Dripping Springs can't believe they didn't get the foul call. So everybody's upset. I do understand it probably was off of Dripping Springs, but if they're not going to call the foul, it's hard to take the ball away from them there. Two wrongs making a right, so to speak. Now up top is Reed. Off to Fleming. Comes and sets the screen. Kick to the right side. That's Reagan. Driving in now Budge. Was more of an outside shooter the first time out. Now three on the way for Fleming, and he cashes it. On his way to another high-scoring night. Had 15 the first time these two teams made, as that PA is awfully loud. I don't think I'm near a speaker. It just hurts. Here's Gill trailing by one. Now Williford. Caden up to Gill. Jackson directing traffic. Off to Campbell Duncan, facing up, kicking to the corner. Perkins now back up top. Gill, shot fake. Back to the corner. Noah one dribble. Stops. Back to Gill. Good defense here from Dripping Springs. Gill going to take this one. That's no good. Williford there to track down the rebound. Good hustle play. Caden now back out for Jackson. Jackson going to catch and shoot again. This time no good as well. Loose ball. Williford diving for it. Careful not to pick up that second foul, but appreciate the hustle. Appreciate the effort. Kick to the corner. Budge open. That's no good. Rebound tapped out. Perkins chasing for it. And it's going to go the other way. They're going to get 13. Rushton Budge, the sophomore for it, had 6 points the last time out.
Foul number 13. Rushton Budge, his first, team first.
Perkins checking out. Sol Mearswood checking in. Anderson, cold start offensively. Is now Gill. Off to Mearswa. Sol. Back up top, Williford. Caden to the left side. That's Jackson Gill. Now back across to Owen Schaefer. Anderson spreading the ball around here early. Still looking for a crack inside. Driving in, Jackson all the way to the basket. Nice off the glass. He's got his first points of the game. The two senior leading scorers for Anderson and Jackson Gill and Campbell Duncan on the board now. They take the lead back. It's 4-3. Halfway through the quarter. Fadeaway jumper on the baseline. Judson Lowe gets the lead right back. Anderson slowing it down. Last time these two teams played, it was 51-33, so offense really the killer there for Anderson. Just over 8 points a quarter as Campbell Duncan can't connect on the three-pointer. Budge kicking to the corner. Now stepping away from the basket is Lowe. 3 minutes, 20 seconds and counting in the first quarter. Lowe puts it on the ground, going to go all the way to the basket, and affecting that shot was Williford there on the offensive glass. So once again is Dripping Springs. Fleming three-pointer on the way, hit one earlier, can't hit there. It's 5-4. Campbell Duncan pushing the pace here in the first quarter. Gets all the way down to the block. He's stuck a little bit under the basket, but he's just going to turn around, try and fade away. Shot's no good. Dripping Springs pushing the other way. Fleming inside, and that foul seemed to be on the floor, but I think they're going to give it to him. I think they're going to give him the continuation. I don't think they blew the whistle until the second bump. Put it to 7-4. Williford to the bench. Miles Rickards checking in, the sophomore. Free throw no good. Rebound batted away, but into the hands of Campbell Duncan. It was Jackson Reagan making the effort there on the glass. Now here's Gill. Duncan. Now back to Gill, back to now Schaefer. They get it inside to Campbell Duncan, has the sophomore on him. Campbell, turnaround fading on the baseline, off glass for two. He's got 4, the Trojans have 6, they trail it by 1. Now all the way to the cup there is Zach Fleming. He's got 5 points here in the opening quarter. It's 9-6, 2 minutes to go here in the quarter. Duncan out there on the perimeter, and now off to Schaefer. It's knocked out of bounds. It will stay here. Schaefer going to check out. Checking in now is number 14, Stone Patterson.
Checking in for the Tigers, number 14, Stone Patterson.
Another junior. Now for Gill, pass inside Campbell Duncan. Campbell going to take it into the post again, had it stripped away, but into the hands of Perkins. Noah driving in, has a smaller player on him, but instead pulls it back out. Minute 40 seconds to go in the quarter, 3-point game. Gill puts it on the deck to avoid the timer. Crosses behind his back, nice move. Now into the corner for Mearswa. 90 seconds to go in the quarter. Trojans look like they're playing to keep the shot attempts to a minimum in this game. Mearswa. Budge defending. On the floor, off to Perkins. Noah found himself open for 3. That's a good look, but he just can't connect here cold early. Just over a minute to play as Lowe pushes the pace into the corner for Fleming. He's got back to Lowe. Now three-pointer on the way. That one well off, and Campbell Duncan there on the glass. He's got a 2-on-2. Won't use it. Campbell, he's going to pass it off to Gill. Jackson's three-pointer on the way. They're just going to let this one go out of bounds. 52.8 seconds to go in the quarter as Anderson is ice cold from the outside to start early as we're into the first quarter.
The Tigers, number 3, Austin Moore for number 1, Zach Fleming.
It's been a fast-paced first quarter. Or rather, not necessarily the pace of the game, but the pace of the clock moving itself. His three-pointer on the way. That one good for Austin Moore, who's just into the game.
Austin Moore!
So Dripping Springs able to hit 2 threes here in the quarter. Anderson is over. Duncan holding. Perkins hands it off to Mirzwa. Now back to Campbell Duncan with 10 seconds to go in the quarter. Campbell posts up. Wouldn't be surprised if the double comes, but instead he's able to force his way into the paint, flicks it up and in for his third make of the game. Now Lowe will heave it at the buzzer. It's no good. And now at the end of quarter number 1, it is a 4-point game.
I want to start off this in between quarters.
I want to thank you for tuning into the broadcast. 12-8 is your score after Duncan able to put one more in there at the buzzer. I want to thank our sponsors on tonight's broadcast, the trial attorneys at Howery, Breen, and Herman, for everything they do for us here on Vype and at Trojan Basketball. We're going to go ahead and step aside here for 30 seconds. When we come back, we'll have quarter number 2. You're watching Anderson Basketball on Vype. Back in for quarter number 2. Campbell Duncan leading all scorers here early with 6. Zach Fleming has the team high of 5 for Dripping Springs. They will have the ball back with the lead here to start quarter number 2. 8 minutes on the clock. Fleming hands it off. That's Patterson. Now pass inside for Reagan. Kicks it back out. Now for Fleming. Made one in the first quarter. Missed his last 2. Campbell Duncan there on the glass. As telegraphing the pass, Fleming into the open court. He's got 7. I feel like this bothered me last time, too. But pass to Campbell Duncan. Williford hit the ground. Campbell, and a foul on Dripping Springs. The shot will not count. They're going to get Reagan on the foul. 6-point game. First team foul of the quarter, obviously, for Dripping Springs.
Team first in the second quarter.
They let him play in the first. Left side, Gill. Looking for Campbell on the block. And he steps back outside as Reagan defends. Now, moving through is Perkins. Pass inside to him. Now back to Williford. Caden puts it on the deck a couple times. Now back outside for Campbell Duncan. Left side, no Perkins. Gill there on the block. Instead, they go out to Williford. Duncan looked at the basket. Instead, he'll take it all the way to the cup. It's blocked, but into the hands of Jackson Gill. And what do I say about offensive rebound or blocks? They turn into offensive rebounds. Gill had a great look at it there at the rim, but just couldn't capitalize. He's had a rough start to the game scoring the ball, but getting good looks. Just a matter of time before they fall. Kick to the corner. That's Moore. Hit one earlier. Can't hit again here. Patterson there on the glass. Back outside. Moore going to fire again. Can't connect again. So Dripping Springs coming up empty on that trip. It's a 6-point game. Here comes Campbell Duncan. Minute 45 gone in the quarter. Keep an eye on these passes here. Back for Williford. Off to Gill. Jackson, shot fake. Back for Campbell. Campbell putting it on the deck. Now nice kick to the corner for Gill. Jackson facing up on the smaller guard. Duncan gets the ball back, fakes the handoff. Maybe need to be a little bit quicker with the decision there as he can't connect on the elbow jumper. Showing just a little bit of hesitation on the offensive end. Driving in is Budge. Kicks to the corner for Reagan. Now back outside. Dripping Springs moving the rock. Corner for Reagan. Now back outside. That's Patterson. Gill defending. Now Fleming. Williford defending. Back to him. They pull it back out. Schaefer defends. Now got caught up in the air, able to bail him out is Budge by chasing that thing down. Now Zach Fleming all the way to the cup, off balance, got it to go, and one from the official on the backside. Subs here as Maddox Bloomgren into the game for the first time. Cooper Reed back in along with Judson Lowe.
And number 2, Judson Lowe.
5:05 to go here in the second quarter as the free throw is good from Fleming. He's got 10. 10 of his team's 17 with 5 minutes to go here in the half. Now Gill. Trojans yet to score here in the quarter. Perkins back to Williford as this is a very good defensive team, Dripping Springs. Held Anderson to 33 last time out, and they're well on pace to stay in that range here. Gill going to fire away, looks on from here, but no good. Williford there on the glass. Kicks back to Campbell Duncan. He'll rise and fire from the corner. This time Anderson able to hit. Their first one from the outside pushes Campbell Duncan's total to 9. He's got 9 of his team's 11. Bloomgren hands it off to Moore. Now Lowe. Fleming, right side. Sometimes he gets caught in the air without a plan, but Anderson, just like there, hasn't been able to get on those loose balls as Lowe drives in. Now Bloomgren stopped at the basket. Lowe. Gill tried to poke it away from behind, but he'll pick up the foul here. That's just Anderson's second of the quarter, 3:50 to go.
Second team, second. Coming up for the Tigers, number 10, Braden Spencer.
Braden Spencer into the game. Ball's into Maddox Bloomgren, now back out for Zach Fleming. 10 points in the game for him so far. Sol Mears was checking in for the Trojans. So Williford out there with Schaefer, Perkins, Mearswa, and Campbell Duncan. Now kick to the corner. Fleming on his way again for 3. No. Campbell Duncan catches the rebound. Duncan all the way. Stops in the paint. Goes up with it. Can't get it to go, but it'll be 2 free throws. First of the game here for the Anderson Trojans. First one short off the front.
Number 32.
Drew Mathis into the game for the first time here in the first half. In the second quarter, Campbell Duncan's second free throw is up and good. He's got 10. Only had 11 the first time these two teams played, so much better half for Campbell Duncan against Dripping Springs. There's Fleming, 10 points in the game for him. Bloomgren with it up top, now to the right side. That's Cooper Reed. Now Lowe, driving the paint, stumbles back to Reed. Now Dripping Springs resets. Dripping Springs done a really good job. They've gotten themselves into some pretty bad situations offensively, but they've just been able to bail themselves out. Been at the right place at the right time. Here's Fleming. Mearswood defending. See, once again, caught up in the air. This time, gets it back. But did miss the layup, forced the miss by Sol Mearswa, so good on them. They got to get somebody back there to get the ball here. Mearswa and Mathis not always ball carriers as Perkins throws this one away to Lowe. Campbell Duncan there, hung himself on the rim. As there's Campbell Duncan, Perkins definitely affecting that. Excellent job getting back in transition defense. Duncan gets it to go on the other end and one.
Left is good. Campbell Duncan.
Had it up to 9. It's back down to 3. Duncan can't get the free throw, but Mearswood can get the board. And now that'll go out of bounds. It'll stay here. That 50 ball rolled the Trojans' way. Perkins will be the one to inbound. Dripping Springs will substitute. 13 Rushton Budge and 12 Jackson Reagan checking in.
13 Rustin Budge.
Perkins Mathis coming around. Williford gets the pass inside, takes it to the basket, can't get it to go. Had a good look. Instead, Dripping Springs the other way. It's 17-14. And a transition tray on the way. That's no good. Rebound batted out. Looked like it was off the hands of Lowe. Mearswa had it for a second. And it will be off of Dripping Springs. Anderson ball. Gill checking back in. Caden Williford going to check out. Good hustle play from him here tonight. Just a three-point game. 2:09 to go and counting here in the first half. Right side. Up top. Gill puts it on the deck. Finds Campbell Duncan. Campbell able to go up and get it, and he went to the basket hard. He got Dripping Springs player in the face as he was coming down. I think that's Fleming. And it looks like he might have to exit the floor with some blood. As Campbell Duncan was coming down with that, kind of came down with his arm after putting the shot up, and he got Fleming. Purely incidental contact, but that's no consolation for Fleming, as I don't imagine that felt great. And he seems to be up and okay, being attended to by the training staff. He will have to exit the floor here momentarily, but he's had an excellent game so far as he is heading to the locker room. He has 10 points, 10 of Dripping Springs 17 here in the first half.
Checking back in for the Tigers, number 3, Austin Moore.
Two more on the way for Campbell Duncan. He's 1 for 3 from the line here tonight. First one no good. 1:54 to go here in the quarter. 1 for 4 from the line here to start for Duncan. Got to recoup one here. Can't hit. Perkins tries to chase it down, saves it inbounds, but into the hands of Jackson Reagan. And now Judson Lowe the other way. Kick to the corner. Wide open is Austin Moore, who's hit 1 in the game, and now he has 2.
Austin Moore.
Back to a 6-point game. Campbell Duncan doing all the work offensively for Anderson, but has had a hard time at the free throw line. Gets to the basket, up and under. It's good. Campbell Duncan, 14 points. Gill has the only other 2 for Anderson. Pass inside. Budge has it. He'll drive the paint all the way to the cup and 1. Dude is killing me here. All right, 22-16 after the nice bucket inside from Budge. 6 points last time these two teams played as Mathis checks out. Williford on the bench, but otherwise it's starters. Plus Rickards for Anderson. Free throw no good. Rebound. Lowe had it for a brief moment, but instead it's Jackson Gill. Now Anderson. Campbell Duncan with the rock. 70 seconds to go here in the half. Gill catches it, goes around the screen all the way to the cup. They're going to count it and 1. Jackson's slow-moving drive all the way to the basket for his second basket of the game. He's got 4 points with 1 more coming here at the line.
Fouls number 13, Rushton Budge, his second team.
1:05 to go here in the half. Trojans now in the bonus, for what it's worth, as that one rattles around and in. So the Trojans respond with a 3 of their own. And a 30-second timeout on the floor. What he said, 1:05 in the half. Campbell Duncan has 14. Jackson Gill has 5. That'll be all for Anderson. It seems Zach Fleming leading the way for Dripping Springs with 10, but he is out with injury at the moment. I assume that we will see him back in the game if he wants to be the junior guard. An excellent half for him, but can't imagine he's feeling great after taking the elbow to the face.
And for halftime, if you are a kid or a kid,
Make sure that score is right.
you can come down and do a little knockout.
We have crossed over. It's just about 8 o'clock here in Dripping Springs, almost to halftime. A very speedy half of basketball. As Lowe, seeing the half-court trap, pulls back. Now kick to the corner. Maybe don't want to leave him open, though. Can't make him pay. He already has 2 threes in the half. Lowe outside. His shot also no good. Rebound batted around. Dripping Springs has been excellent at that, just getting hands on the ball and getting it into play. As here's more to the right side for Reagan. He'll face up and then kick it back out. Judson Lowe now with possession once again. 19-22, 35 seconds to go. The old college basketball shot clock as they pass it inside. Reagan, Schaefer poked it away, but right back into the hands of Dripping Springs. That's how it's been all night. And the long rebound going to Dripping Springs once again. It's Moore. Schaefer had a steal, but batted it in the air and right into the hands of a waiting arm of a Tiger. Now back for Lowe. Rickards picks him up. Trojans do have a foul to give. Lowe all the way to the cup. Strong move. 5 seconds for Anderson. They've got to hurry. Campbell Duncan. One more look at it. Euro step, half-court heave, and just leaves it short. And Judson Lowe able to tack on one more there at the end. It is 24-19. So a little bit better offensively for the Trojans, on pace to have 38. Just scored 33 last time out. They've kept the scoring down, limiting possessions, but now they will head to the locker room. Campbell Duncan leads all scorers with 14. Zach Fleming leads Dripping Springs with 10. Hopefully he can get right in the locker room. Hate to see a player having a really good half go out with an injury, so hopefully he will be able to return. As much as it might not be in the Anderson Trojans' best interest, it is in the best interest of the sport of basketball. We want to see these kids out there playing. The junior guard, 10 points in the half. Judson Lowe had 4. Austin Moore with a pair of triples had 6. Rushton Budge with 2. Cooper Reed with 2. For Anderson, it's a little bit simpler. Campbell Duncan with 14. Jackson Gill with 5. That is all the scoring for the Anderson Trojans here in half number 1. Have 10 minutes of halftime here. 9 minutes now. Going to go ahead and step aside, but want to thank some people here first. Want to thank the trial attorneys at Harry, Breen, and Herman for sponsoring us here on Vype Live, as well as just being excellent supporters of Trojan athletics and Trojan basketball. Going to go ahead and step aside here. I want to thank our QA, Mr. Nathan Nunez, for keeping us afloat here on the broadcast. But now we are going to step aside. It is 24-19. It's been a big half from Campbell Duncan. He has 14. The Trojans trail it by 5. Still in this. Believe they will get possession here to start the second half. We'll go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, we will have the sounds of Dripping Springs High School here in beautiful Dripping Springs, Texas. We'll be back after this.
Okay.
But yeah, just get with Merle and whatever points of contact are.
Gotcha. Okay, I'll talk to Swanson about it first. Once the season's over, there's really no point in
Because all we have to do is make it unlisted.
So here we go. It will be blue ball. 8 minutes, not quite up on the clock yet. Now we are. There's that sound. Lineups, starting lineups back out there on the court. Here's Jackson Gill. 5 points in the first half. Looking for Owen Schaefer now, caught without a dribble. He is able to get it off to Owen. Right side, Gill able to track it down. His foot was right there on the baseline, or on the sideline. Jackson doesn't like the call, but you can see it from here. Just a little bit of that black line was eclipsed by his shoe. So turnover there to start the half. Henderson didn't get a look at the basket. Kick to the left side for Reagan, pass inside. That's Cooper Reed, his shot no good. Good defense by Williford. He's been excellent defensively here tonight. Gill goes baseline, now kick back out for Campbell Duncan. Lob across. Noah Perkins going to catch and shoot that one well off. Was trying to go off glass, it looked like. 45 seconds gone. Here's Fleming, caught up in the air. This time, they are not going to be able to save this. Well, actually, they are. Looked back court. Looks like Lowe was definitely out of foot going back court, but instead he'll get to the basket, missed the shot. But that's been the kind of night it's been. All these loose balls just flying Dripping Springs' way, as blocking on the other end is Cooper Reed. Dripping Springs coming back with Rushton Budge. Kick to the corner. Fleming open for three. His shot no good. Rebound goes to Williford. And he'll make the executive decision there to slow this thing down. As Lowe pokes this one free. Reagan off the Budge, all the way to the basket. Gill doing a good job of staying in front of him, but Budge able to flip it up and in. As Anderson going to go ahead and use a timeout.
With 6:18 to go in the third quarter, your time 26. Trojans 19.
It will be a full timeout, so we'll go ahead and step aside with them. When we come back, we will have more third quarter action for you. It's Anderson Trojan basketball on Vype. Third quarter action here. Trojans out of the timeout. Sloppy start to this half. But still, they only trail the half by 2. They trail the game by 7. We're down 5 at half. Gill bringing the ball up. Pass off to Williford. Caden looking for Perkins. Noah back to Gill. Active hands here from Lowe. As Gill kills his dribble. Back to Williford. Caden just lost it. Now back to Jackson. He'll drive baseline all the way to the cup. Lowe tried to poke it free from behind, but instead a nice nifty move to the basket for Jackson Gill. He's up to 7 points. Lowe, back to Fleming. Looks like they're trying to get it into Reed, but Duncan isn't exactly fronting him. He has pretty good position down there. Instead, it'll be Fleming attacking the basket. Blocked by Perkins. Anderson wants a travel or a jump ball. Instead, Lowe driving in, kick to the corner, Budge. That one also looked like a travel, but they're going to get Perkins on the block. Rookie jabbed his foot before he started the drive.
Fouls number 24, his second, team first in the third quarter.
They'll get Schaefer on the foul. As here's Lowe. Pass inside to Reagan at the basket. Shot no good. Rebound loose. Campbell Duncan's got it. Doesn't have the numbers. Lob across. It's Gill. Jackson going to drive baseline. Reagan doing a good job to cut that off. Shot fake Duncan. Campbell floater in the lane off glass. Down to a 3-point lead for Dripping Springs. Lowe going to try to add 3 more. Can't on the quick shot. Rebound loose. Schaefer tries to dive for it. Loose on the ground still. Reagan has it, and they're going to call a timeout. Anderson's diving for him. They're just not going their way here early. Scoreboard updated. It's 26-23. Anderson cuts the lead down. They have 4 points in the quarter. Dripping Springs has 2. Dripping Springs still with the lead. It is just a 30-second timeout. 1 team foul for the Trojans here, none here for Dripping Springs early in the third quarter. Some Pat Benatar coming out of the halftime. Anderson does this too, and a lot of schools around here, they play a lot of classic rock. Like, and I just think it's funny, because do these kids like that? Know that? Like, Anderson plays a good, they play Fight for Your Right by the Beastie Boys a lot. I think that's interesting. Anyway, ball in, Bloomgren lost it out of bounds. Just an unforced error there as the Trojans will get the ball back.
Checking back to the Tigers, number 5, Maddox Bloomgren.
Don't call attention to it. Trojan ball. It's Duncan. Now back to Gill. Low defending. He's been good on Jackson all night. Pass back to Williford. Caden looked at the basket for a second, but not much of a shooter. Anderson. A bit sloppy there on this possession so far, but they'll reset it. Get things going back again. Perkins there in the corner. Moving around. Back to Schaefer. Owen left open. He'll rise and fire. Owen Schaefer connects. 7 points the first time these two teams played. He's got his first 3 there. That's a tie game. 26 all. Judson Lowe with possession for Dripping Springs. Halfway through the third quarter. Now here's Budge. Lowe. Back to Budge. He'll drive the baseline. Kick to the corner for Reagan. Now back to Fleming. Kick to the corner. It's Lowe. His three-pointer on the way, and he gets the lead right back. Lowe had 17 points last time these two teams played. He has 7 here with that. 29-26. Now Jackson Gill going to rise and fire. Can't turn it into a three-point shootout here in the third quarter. 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. A lot of threes happening right now as there's Bloomgren going to take it into the chest of Williford. Looked like Campbell Duncan knocked it out of his hands. The ball was loose. Gill threw it off the knees of Bloomgren, and the ball will go back to the blue and white.
Checking back with the Tigers, number 3, Austin Moore for number 1, Zach Living.
Lowe going to pick him up full court. Got to be an exhausting task. One Gill gets the ball back. Lowe comes and picks him up. Up across the line. Mears was checked into the game. Now off to Jackson Gill. Lowe still defending. Schaefer gets it into Campbell Duncan. He's a bit off the block, but sometimes this is where Campbell wants to operate. Facing up, jab step. Fake the step back. Dishes it off to Mearswa. What a move by Campbell Duncan to get the and one bucket for Sol Mearswa. Campbell was operating baseline, stepped back into what looked like was going to be a step back baseline J. Got his defender off balance, dished it off to Mearswa. Sol able to take the contact and one. That's been an effective way to stop Anderson at the free throw line. As this one, it looks like it's going to be Anderson ball on the loose ball going out of bounds here. Someone in the Dripping Springs student section just screams bloody murder anytime a Trojan player has been at the line, and frankly, it's been effective. Duncan is, I believe, 1 for 5. Mearswa there 0 for 1. Gill is 1 for 1 on his and one basket early. And I think they're going to get Bloomgren on the foul inside here as he's not made the most of his minutes here in the third quarter. They'll get Cooper Reed in. Already 3 fouls on Bloomgren in limited time.
Check it back again. The Tigers number 32, Cooper Reed.
Gill to inbound. Trojans trail by 1, 2:27 here in the quarter. Perkins is there. Noah going to fire the 3. No good. Rebound goes inside the Reagan, and this will be a foul against Anderson. That is just their second of the quarter. Now both teams with 2 team fouls on the quarter, but Anderson with a golden opportunity to take the lead back there, just unable to do so. 2:22 left.
His first team second.
Just 1 on Duncan, so I'll take that if you're Anderson. Low. Into the corner. Cooper Reed. Ball knocked away. Maybe a jump ball, maybe. But instead it'll just be out of bounds off Anderson. Low. 7 points for him. Fleming on the bench with those 10 points. Now they go back across to Low. Double comes. Kick back to the left side for Moore. Looking for Budge on the baseline. Pulls it back, off the Low, attacks the closeout, up in the air. Anderson, some good defense, but Low just going to rise and fire. No good. Mearswa there, a strong board for the Trojan junior. Minute 45 to go in the quarter. 29-28, Trojans just trailing this one. Had the lead back, they had the tie briefly. It was 26 apiece. Campbell Duncan strong to the basket, but they're going to get him for a travel. Duncan had a man on his back, but instead they're going to get him for the walk as he stumbled through the contact. Minute 31. Got to step back into the game here. Budge, 4 points in the game for him. Now back to Lowe. That's Cooper Reed, sophomore big man. Put the ball on the floor here for Reagan. He'll drive the baseline. Stuck without a dribble. Now Budge attacking a closeout all the way to the basket. That's blocked by Schaefer. That one was all ball from my angle, but it'll be 2 foul shots nonetheless. That is the 3rd team foul for the Trojans here.
Fouls number 24, his 3rd, team 3rd.
3rd on Owen. 3 points in the game for Owen. Now Miles Rickard's getting ready to check in. First free throw up and good.
Coming back in for the Tigers, number 1, Zach Fleming. And number 14, Stone Patterson.
Zach Fleming back into the game, as is Stone Patterson. Budge touched everything on that one. He's got 6. Still just a 1-possession game. 3 points for Dripping Springs. We've crossed under a minute to play here in the 3rd quarter. Anderson content to be patient. 45 seconds left in the quarter now. They're not forcing the that 5-second timer. You know, on YouTube TV, if you have that, how you can sometimes skip a commercial and it just goes to that, like a nice scene of nature for a couple seconds? That's where we're at in the 3rd quarter. A moment of zen. Anderson's running a full minute. It was a riveting basketball here. They got the ball back with a full minute left. There's now 15 seconds on the clock, and we haven't done anything yet. 10 seconds left. If they don't get some here, need a good look at the basket. As here's Campbell Duncan all the way to the basket. Turnaround jumper. That's good. Right before the buzzer. Dripping Springs won't have another look at it, as the strategy worked. Anderson runs down a full minute of time, a full 60 seconds of time. Dripping Springs was content to let him do it. No resistance at all. Jackson Gill stood with the ball for about 40 seconds. And now we are headed to the 4th quarter in a 1-point game. We'll step aside here. We want to thank our sponsors on tonight's broadcast, the trial attorneys at Howery, Breen, and Herman. We will be back in 30 seconds for the 4th quarter. You're watching Trojan Basketball on Vype. Fourth quarter time. Going into the 4th quarter, of course, the team fouls shall reset. 0 apiece now. 4 timeouts left for Drip. 3 timeouts left for the Trojans. It's been low scoring. Trojans scored 33 at home the last time these two teams played. Dripping Springs scored 51, so Anderson should eclipse that total, and they should hold Dripping Springs under theirs. As here's Lowe, off to the right side. Steps back on Williford. Now Moore. Back to Patterson, hands it off to Lowe. Chasing him over a screen is Perkins. Kick to the corner for Fleming. Hasn't played much in the second half, and that's his first basket of the second half. He's got 13 in the game. Back to a 4-point game. As Anderson's really struggled from the outside here. Schaefer hit one and Duncan has hit one, but that's about it so far. Duncan now working on Reagan. Hand off to Gill. Jackson going to drive baseline. Kicks to Williford. Caden driving in. Back to Gill. Jackson's open for 3. Can he answer? No. Williford taps the rebound away, and Schaefer there to collect it. Was worried about backcourt there, but no whistle. Wasn't sure the rule on the tap back if Anderson was the one tapping back. There's Campbell Duncan back to the basket, kick to the corner, nice feed to Perkins. Can he hit? No good. Rebound up for Lowe, but Jackson Gill able to clear it away. Some good offensive rebounds here. Some opportunities for second chance points for the Trojans. Gill, sidestep three. That one's good. Gill will hit the difficult one. As the lead back down to 1, Gill is up to 10 points. He struggled on spot up, but that sidestep look, he's money on. As here's Lowe. Double comes. Kick to the corner for Fleming. Don't want to let him get downhill. Floater good, and he's got 5 quick points in the fourth quarter. One guy they haven't been able to slow down. As Mearsville getting ready to check in for the Trojans, as here's Jackson Gill on the perimeter. Duncan puts it on the floor, now back to Schaefer. Campbell trying to get position down there on the block. Reagan defending. Patterson, you can tell he's waiting for that entry pass. Williford. Caden. Now off to Schaefer. Now back for Campbell Duncan. Wanted the three-pointer. Instead off to Gill. Jackson isolated on Lowe. Back to Schaefer. Schaefer puts it on the deck all the way to the basket. Can't get the finish. Trojans trail by 3. Dripping Springs the other way. Fleming with 15. Now with 17.
Oh, Zach Fleming!
Dude. 38-33. Jackson Gill bringing the ball up. Here's Williford. Now back to Jackson. He'll pull up another three-pointer on the way. Left this one short, and Moore able to collect. Under 5 minutes to play. Dripping Springs has the lead up to 5. Lowe with a beautiful move on Gill. Step back three, and that is a nice play from Judson Lowe. And Anderson will force the timeout.
Timeout Trojans. With 4:40 to go in the game, your Tigers 41. Trojans
41-33. It is a full timeout, so we will step aside as Dripping Springs has come out shooting hot here in the fourth quarter.
Want to continue?
Coming back in the fourth quarter. This doesn't sound like the Jackson 5. But Dripping Springs coming out hitting some big shots here in the fourth quarter, including 7 in the fourth by Fleming and another 3 by Judson Lowe, who's now up to 10 points. It was 31-30. Entering the fourth quarter. Now 41-33. Gill. Off to Perkins. Back for Williford. Now off to Gill. Perkins driving in, and they're going to get a blocking foul here on Fleming as he jumped in front of the ball handler. Looks like Budge getting ready to check in. They're going to get Austin Moore out. That's the first team foul against Dripping Springs. 4 minutes, 22 seconds left in the game. Gill inbound. Watch the slip. Now back, Noah Perkins, three-pointer on the way. Noah able to connect on his first of the game. He's got 3 points, and Anderson really needed that one. Back down to a 5-point game. Keep an eye on number 1 and number 2. 4 minutes left. Perkins. You can tell how much they respect his driving ability. How jumpy they are. As here's Lowe. Gill picking him up. Reagan. Now Lowe. Double comes against Budge, and Mearsville going to foul him. Just the first team foul for Anderson. 3:30 left to go in the game. Looks like Nick Mansaroff checking in for his first minutes of action here.
His second, team first.
Reagan to inbound. They go to the backcourt. Lowe stuck without a dribble here. This is a big play. Perkins takes it away. Now a lob ahead. He had Williford, and it was stolen by Budge. Kick to the corner. Now back out for Lowe. Anderson now running out of time. Fleming back outside. Now back to Fleming. Crossing under 3 minutes to play. As Budge goes baseline, pass inside. Jackson Reagan, easy two, the easiest of the night for his first make of the game. 7-point game. Campbell Duncan pushing the pace all the way to the basket. Contact, no good, but 2 free throws.
Fouls number 12.
Seen a lot of that this year, just
Team second.
throwing the ball away at the worst possible moment. As this one an air ball for Campbell.
On the line. Number 21.
The only person that's been able to stop Campbell Duncan tonight's been Campbell Duncan. He's 1 for 6 now from the free throw line. Make that 2 for 7, but he has 19 points. Trojans wouldn't even be close in this game without Campbell Duncan, but just hasn't been too pretty at the line here. Pass inside, Reagan screaming down the lane. Anderson's going to foul. 2:40 left to go, 6-point game. Team foul number 2 for Anderson. Lowe, the one to inbound.
Fouls number 20 is for team second.
Just able to get it into Reagan. Nice spin by Lowe into the basket. Gets it to go and one. Didn't see who fouled him. Didn't look like it was inside. I think they're going to get Gill on the foul.
Fouls number 4, his third, team third.
Lowe makes the free throw. Drew Mathis to sub in. Trojans still have time, but they're going to have to heat up here and heat up in a hurry. Trailing by 9. Gill wasn't ready for it. Lowe defending. Now off to Campbell Duncan. Mearswa facing up. Now off to Mathis. Screen comes for Drew. Looking for Perkins. Noah step back from the elbow, hit everything but the bottom. Campbell Duncan there on the glass. He'll go up strong, gets it to go. Campbell Duncan up across 20 points with 21. Took their time getting to it though. As now here is Fleming all the way to the basket. He'll be fouled by Mearswa going up. And under 2 minutes to play. Anderson is out of fouls to give, which actually helps them in this scenario.
Fouls number 14, his third, team 4. On the line for 2 shots. Number 1, Zach Fleming.
No good on the first. One for 2 for Fleming. Up for Mearswa. Duncan. Off to Gill on the left side. Now Perkins wasn't ready for it. Mathis just able to track that thing down. Now Sol Mearswa back to Campbell Duncan. Campbell, shot faking. Back to Gill. Screen. Jackson going to take it to the basket. Tried to go with the left. Can't get it to fall. That should likely do it as the Trojans trail it by 8 with just a minute and 25 seconds. But still with a chance to maybe force a couple turnovers, but they're going to foul Fleming. Maybe The last guy you want to foul.
Fouls number 5. His first team. 5.
They'll get Perkins. First one good. .118 to go. This one's slipping through the cracks. As Dripping Springs much better here in the in the fourth quarter than Anderson was. Came out inspired as Campbell Duncan going to try and take it to the basket. Instead, it'll just be 2 free throws for the big man. 21 points in the game for him. That is a game high at the moment.
Fouls number 32, Cooper Reed.
First one up and good for Duncan.
His 17th third. On the line, Campbell Duncan.
Duncan made his last 3. He's up to 23 in the ball game. Excellent offensive output for him this afternoon. 23 points. As here's Lowe. Just able to get it across half court. They get it to Fleming. Now back to Reagan. We'll see if Anderson continues to foul. Doesn't look like there's any pressure from the staff. There's Lowe, the double, but they are just able to get it off. Now Reagan inside will take the bunny. Jackson Reagan, 2 garbage time baskets here. Makes it 51 to 41 up in the air. Back to Williford. Caden 3-pointer on the way. That's no good. Rebound goes inside to Reagan. Now Duncan going to foul.
Fouls number 21.
So Dripping Springs going to pick up the victory. They will improve to 7-8 in district play. 17 and 15. They will avoid slipping to 500 here with the win. Improves their chances at squeaking into a postseason berth. His first free throw up for Reagan. As Anderson going to sub the bench in here. Second one no good. Here's Mathis. Left side for Donahue. Anderson might have a chance at one more. Darby into the corner, and that's Donahue again. Loose ball. Fleming there to take it away. And he stepped out of bounds. 10.2 left. Anderson will get one more crack at it, I suppose. I was going to call a timeout here for one last look.
Yeah, we got a timeout with 10 seconds to go.
Looks like Bowie trails big at the half against Lake Travis, so it looks like Lake Travis will keep us alive here in terms of who is going to make that final postseason spot. I believe, unless the tiebreaker rules have changed, if Dripping Springs and Bowie end up tied at the end of the year, they would play that final play-in game like Anderson and Dripping Springs did last year. So it would be back-to-back postseason games for Dripping Springs in a one-and-done capacity. 3 seconds left. Here's Saraf driving in. He'll pull up at the buzzer and free throws. Are they going to let it happen?
Checking in for the Tigers, we've got number 11, Brandon Whitaker. Number 8.
With 0 seconds on the clock, Nickman Saraf steps to the line for 2.
Number 24, Chase Johnson.
No, excuse me. 0.2 seconds left. So if you know the Derek Fisher rule, if Dripping Springs wants to score again, or if Anderson wants to score again, it will have to be a tip-in. You need 0.4 seconds to get a jump shot off. If we're going to really play a full 32 minutes of basketball here, it will give Nickman Saraf the 2 free throws before the buzzer. The first one rattles out. Like I've said this before, I'd be a terrible ref. I would just let that go. As Nickman, hey, into the scoring column. How about that? Good for him. As Anderson cuts it down to a 10-point game right there at the buzzer, as it ends in kind of a whimpering fashion as we extend it by just a little bit as the Trojans drop a tough one on the road. They were there in it through about 3.5 quarters, and Dripping Springs able to just shoot them out of the gym. Really excellent game from their backcourt. Trojans will have a great opportunity to pick up another win on the season this Friday when they go on the road to Austin High School to take on the Maroons. And then we will have one more home game on Tuesday the 13th. So one more road game, one more home game in that order. The Trojans' next game will be this Friday. As we said, we will be there live for that. That one back to normal, an 8 p.m. tip-off. Got started a little bit early here. But that will go ahead and do it for us. Trojans drop a tough one, a really fun game through about 3.5 quarters, but want to thank you all for tuning into the broadcast. I want to thank my QA, Mr. Nathan Nunez, back in the Vype Live studios, and our technical director, Suna Venkot, my boss, Mr. Merle Bertrand, the trial attorneys at Howery, Breen, and Herman, and everybody else involved with Anderson basketball on Vype. My name is Jack Farrell, wishing you a great night, a great rest of your week, and we will kick off your weekend as the Trojans will take on the Austin Maroons at Austin High